Welcome everyone, this is Mumakil and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at latest news in LOTRO and here at LOTRO Players. And this week we have with us Krister
Hello.
and Sanswinda.
Hello.
Oh, I seem to have surprised you with the ordering.
I was totally caught off guard, yes.
I was also surprised.
Yes. Let's then head into the game news. The first thing to note is that last week I had thought that I had heard that there was supposed to be a patch in the week that had just passed, and apparently either I heard it wrong or it got delayed because there was no patch this week. But I did experience quite a bit of server lag here and there, so I am just hoping that if it was due to people running delvings, that the patch would be coming soon. But let's have a look at what news we do have. And the first is we are now being asked to celebrate the magic of Middle-earth. And apparently the magic of Middle-earth is trademarked. And what you do...
We're asked to celebrate it, but we're going to be charged every time we do.
Yes. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. You can get a coupon code for an in-game gifts available to redeem until 1 p.m. Eastern on July 5th in the Lord of the Rings Online. And in this, if you use the code LOTROMTGO 2023, you'll receive a Samwise Gamgee Loyal Attendant, a Samwise portrait frame, the writing skill, and a universal toolkit. And the Samwise portrait frame is taters.
Aha! That is the origin of the tater. I was wondering where that came from.
Oh, you saw someone with that portrait frame?
But I had no idea of how to acquire it, and I went,
very precious. Well. Now you need to choose which character wisely, because the character that redeems the code is the one that's going to be receiving it. So yeah, that's only one per account, I'm afraid.
Oh.
Yeah, I wanted all my hobbits to have it, but only one of them
Hobbit
could.
makes the most sense.
Yes, I am going to have this on my Langeville Warden. So I've already put in the code and all that. I don't think I've applied it yet on there. But anyway, the portrait frame delivers to the character you are logged into when redeeming the code. The frame is one per account, so make sure that you acquire it on the character you wish to receive the frame. The property guard and universal toolkit are also one per account, but are bound to accounts. So that means that any of your characters could use it. You just have to send it to the right one or whatever. But of course, one per account. That means you have to choose rightly which server you're going to use it on, of course.
You know, I get the universal toolkit and the property guard, but I think that the character frame should have been like your whole account. Just saying.
Yes, there are already people who are requesting some means, saying perhaps something for figments or something like that.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So we'll see. I think that was Druidfire's suggestion that maybe they could have a means like through figments or something like that to do it. We'll see whether or not they ever have an opportunity to actually implement something like that. Now you may be wondering, what is this magic of Middle-earth? And that is that magic of Middle-earth is... That must be is that the whole thing is relating to the Magic the Gathering, because this is a little bit of a crossover event with Magic the Gathering, because they are releasing their Middle-earth set.
Ah.
Yeah. And Magic the Gathering and LOTRO are having a little... You gotta remember is that Standing Stone Games does have a little bit of a relationship with Wizards of the Coast because of the other game.
Right.
Right. So because they have to clear through a lot of things that they do with it. So I have a feeling that it might be that's why we're having the crossover here is because we've already developed a relationship with Wizards of the Coast. But anyway, so there is this coupon code that we have here, and there's also the coupon code is also valid for putting into Magic the Gathering Online, which I think has also something special for Samwise Gamgee in there. A little something to give a little nod to each other.
Perhaps he gets a new frying pan. Cordingware. Oh.
Actually, the picture that they show here, just above the thing about the Magic Gathering thing, I don't know if this is the special avatar they have for Magic Gathering Online, but it shows Sam reading to a couple of his children.
So he's probably like elaborating on his what he's done. Well, Frodo dropped the blood ring, and I picked it up, and everything was fine.
So Cordovan has announced that they now offer player-selected custom forum titles, and you can change your title to anything you would like that is within the community guidelines. And you can do this through your profiles page.
Prepare for the Rivendell Dandy.
The Rivendell Dandy. All right. And he also noted that it was not displaying until he refreshed his browser cookies. So if you don't see a place to enter in your title, just do a Control F5 on the page until it works, or log out and back into the forums. And that's it for the game news this week. So let's head into our store sales. And Sans, what's on sales this week?
Well, this week, the summer sales continue. You can get 35% off account-wide mounts, 50% off the plus 20% mount speed boosts, and 75% off of writing traits through June 29th. And you can stand out from the crowd. You can get 30% off select shared wardrobe spaces, presumably, select cosmetic outfit slots, mounted combat trait spec and cosmetic slots, and select cosmetics through June 29th. And once again, you'll want to check any cosmetics that you want to buy and make sure there's not a very similar or identical item in-game that's easy to acquire. And the weekly coupon will be a Max Morale and Power Scroll ×5 with the coupon code MAXMP5, and that is also available through June 29th.
All right, thank you on that. Of course, Sans is still waiting for the plus whatever percentage to make mounts as fast as war steeds.
Yeah, or, just like an early war steed riding skill. I'd be good with that. Or, even better, a Mumak riding skill.
A Mumak riding skill.
Ooh.
That would be cool.
See, you should be able. I was always thinking you should be able to mount your kin house on a Mumak.
That would be fun.
Could have a herd of Mumak as your neighborhood. That would be crazy.
Have you had a chance to do any of the questing in the new zone yet, Sans?
I have not.
Ooh. There's a quest there I think that you'll like. Let's just say that.
Ooh. Excellent.
Okay. So that's just a little bit of a tease then to go in there. So let's head into our week in gaming. Krister, what were you up to?
Well, last night we assembled a 6-man and went forth into the vermin and were successful. And then we suffered an immense amount of shame on the tier 7 delving that we did. We had this moment where we literally could not kill we killed the boss, but there was 2 crawling arms that we could not destroy, and no matter what we did. And so it was just the night started with a rush of wonder and ended in shame and defeat. So
Hold on. Hey, you managed to successfully kill the boss with a tier 7 delving, but you couldn't kill the...
Yeah, the 2 ads that we needed to kill, we couldn't kill them, and we lost. And so it was the paramount of frustration. So yeah. So, but of course we're used to being defeated millions and millions of times. As Sans refers to the Mumax. The Mumax have had helped us meet our end countless times. But we still love them.
It was still glorious.
Yeah. so we'll keep coming back, and then I've been playing a lot on the Valheim multiplayer server, and it's just been crazy. I actually think, based on the games that we've played, that the LPN crew might have a lot of fun in that game too. It's survival crafting, and it's kind of a beautifully rendered world and very awesome ocean and ocean mechanics. But
I have
scary.
to agree. I think you would enjoy it, Pineleaf.
And then of course still play Diablo 4, and then played a little bit of the Deep Rock Galactic with the Dwarves in Space, and so that was kind of my first week of vacation. Sans, what were you up to?
Well, I got into game long enough to get a Samwise portrait frame and property guard and etc. One on each of my accounts. And I tamed some griffins on Ark and started preparing to tame crystal wyverns with cinders. And griffins are a lot faster than the RGs, and you don't need a saddle, and they're pretty awesome.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. I revamped one of our RG traps to work for the griffins, and I finally discovered that an auto opening and closing door makes a world of difference if you're trying to trap one on your own. And then we found crystal wyverns, and we're like, oh, they're supposed to be passive, and you can ride on their backs and feed them primal crystals to tame them. This will be great. And so we walked up to one, and it tried to kill us. And then it killed us. And I was worried about our birds, so I ran back and I got 2 of the griffins we had just tamed, and I took them back to help the birds. And then they killed the wyvern, and I could see its body in the air, but the birds were out of render distance, and the griffins were out of render distance, and I was stuck on the ground. And then one of them came back down because it was set to follow me, and I was like, oh, I'm so glad I set that before they went off to fight this wyvern in the air. So I flew up to the wyvern corpse, and there were the rest of them, and I got them to follow me back and pick up cinders. We still need to go retrieve most of her loot, but because it was too heavy to ride on the griffins with it. But we discovered that all the wyverns in that area are wyvern heirs and are untamable and are aggressive. So we had to go looking for other wyverns to tame, and we just found some. So I'm looking forward to attempting taming them. And they appear to actually be passive this time, or neutral, so that's good. And then I played some Timberborn and some Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And that was pretty much my week. How was your week, Pineleaf?
And I'll begin with my Langeable Warden, who finished up the first chapter of the Song of Waves and Wind, and the first chapter is the only part that's been put out so far. I would presume Chapter 2 comes with probably the next update, and Chapter 3 to however many is going to come in the expansion. So that's 2 characters then of mine that have completed that particular item. My Runekeeper on Langeable ran Gundabad missions and got to a high enough level that I was able to join in the top level group for some skirmishes last night. So I'm getting close to that level cap in there. And I expect to be running a few more missions in there and doing some Gundabad content. And that's it for my week in gaming. We currently have 13 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to join this illustrious rate of players and help support LOTRO players, you can go to the donations page. We can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. Your money will be used for our podcast hosting, website hosting, and to pay for our live shows. If you'd like to send us an email, you can send it to podcast@lotraplayers.com. You can also follow us at Twitter. The Players Alliance has 2 shows, one on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for DDO Players News, and on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time we have LOTRO Players News. You guys choose for our shows at lotraplayers.com/live. And that's all for tonight then. This is Pilot Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.